Math 2, Unit 3.7, Congruency and Overlapping Triangles. We talked about these last week. We are simply going to find the triangles that we're trying to compare. And in this case, we have ABC. We're trying to compare it to a triangle DCB. We simply kind of pull them apart and we rewrite them. So A, B, and C come down to here for triangle ABC. And if we take this triangle here and we pull D over here, C down here, and B, we end up with triangle DCB. And what we want you to realize is every one of these overlapping triangles will have one part in common, either a side or an angle. In this case, you can see that BC is congruent to BC. Okay. Over here, we're looking at triangle EFG and triangle HGF. It's important we identify the triangles first because there are more than two triangles here. So if we pull these two apart this way, we end up with two triangles, and here we have EFG, and over here we have HGF, and we're hoping that you realize they share line segment FG. Questions on number 2? Okay, we did number 3 for notes. We took triangle JML and we slid it right over here. And we took triangle NKL and we slid it over here. And the idea is that you recognize angle L is shared by both triangles. So we can say angle L is congruent to angle L. Questions on 1, 2, or 3? Okay. So what did you get for number 4? What did the two triangles share? What part?
FG.
Line segment FG? Yeah, you guys agree with that? Yes?
Yes.
FG?
We agree.
You agree. Okay. So let's look at what triangle we're talking about here. We're talking about triangle EGH. Or actually they said GEH, and triangle FHE. So, should we readjust what we're talking about? So now they share side EH, don't they? So that's why it's important for you guys to actually look before you just kind of jump in. A lot of you assumed we were talking about these two triangles, but we weren't. I mean, actually up here, how many triangles do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there more than that? I see for sure 8. And I think that looks like about it. But there's a lot of triangles up there, so you have to be careful before you just jump in. They share EH. Okay, again, same thing here. I see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triangles. So what are they talking about? They're talking about RUT. So let's draw that guy. RUT. And they're talking about STU. Ooh, so that's a little bit different, isn't it? RUT. Oh, no, see, I drew it wrong, didn't I? I went up. See, even that I made a mistake. Sorry about that. That's why you use pencils. T is down here. Okay, so okay, there's RUT, and we're talking STU now. STU, And hopefully now you can see it, they share. We could say UT is congruent to TU by reflexive property, right? Sorry about that, I messed that up. Are we good there? Okay, what'd you come up with here? Talking about Y and I. And what are we talking about? YPZ. So and what do they have in common?
Y.
They have angle Y in common. Very good. So if you're doing a proof with these overlapping triangles, most likely you're going to use reflexive property, right? Reflexive property? Okay, guys, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself. I look around, some people are doing other homework, and some people are just not paying attention. Now, some of you can afford to do that, and some of you can't. So make sure, if you're struggling with this stuff at all, you should probably be following along. The ideal situation is that you've done this, you've tried, and now you're basically just comparing your work to mine. Okay, number 7, I got triangle EGH is congruent to EGF by side, side, side. Okay, we know we were given that these two sides are congruent and these two sides are congruent, and they share EG. Questions on number 7. Okay, let's move on. All right. So here's our overlapping triangles. Definitely want to redraw these. We're looking at K and J. So we've got K, J, and looks like about N here. So K, J, and N. And then we want to go K, M, and L. Okay. And so what do we have? KJ is congruent to KL, and KNJ is congruent to KML. And do we have enough information? What part do they share? Angle K, right? So do we have enough information now to say these two triangles are congruent?
Yes.
By what? Angle, angle, side. So it kind of goes like this. Angle, angle, side is congruent to angle, angle, side. And so we can say that if we start here, JKN would be congruent to LKM. Okay, over here. Now some of you might feel like you don't need to redraw these. That's up to you. If you feel like you're comfortable and you can say, you know what? UX is congruent to VW, and VX, it's a little hard to draw this, but VX is congruent to UW. And you can see that they share this guy, then you could say the two triangles are congruent. Some of you can see it, some of you don't. So I would say it's a good idea for you guys to redraw them unless you feel extremely confident. So UVX. So see, I even made a leap, and I shouldn't have, because it's actually these two guys they're sharing. So it's Vx, and it's gonna be VUW. So we know that UX is congruent to VW, and we know what else? We know they share UV, and they also tell us that VX is congruent to UW. So we can say these two triangles are congruent by side, 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 and we know that in this case we're looking at UVX, so we got to go VUW. Very careful on how you go through those. We went UVX, and I like to think of 2 lines, 3 lines, so I got to go 2 lines, 3 lines, VUW. If you went UVW, you'd go, oh, 2 lines, only 1 line, so it doesn't match up. 2 lines, 3 lines, 2 lines, 3 lines. Hopefully you're picking up on that logic. If not, please speak up. Okay, moving on to number 10. We know, let's see, what are we looking at? ACD and BDC. So I can redraw these. And BDC. So it's ACD comparing to BDC, and we know that AC is congruent to BD, and we know that angle ACD is congruent to angle BDC, and we can see that they share side DC. So we know these two triangles are congruent by side, angle, side, and we know it's actually ACD is congruent to BDC. Oops. And I think we did this one with notes together. That one's already done for us. Any questions on 1 through 10 here? Are you guys going to be able to replicate this on a test? Okay, good. So what we're going to do now, somehow I got my 2 classes mixed up. So what we're going to have you guys do is today and tonight we'll go through all of the odds on the review, and then tomorrow we'll go through all the evens, and by Wednesday we'll be ready for the test. So today you're doing the odds of the review. Tomorrow I'll go over those odds and you'll do the evens for review. Tomorrow actually we will also go over your quizzes. And then Wednesday, you'll come in, we'll go over the evens before the test, answer any last-minute questions, and then take the test. Sound good? Everybody feel like they're prepared? Okay, I'll come around and stamp worksheet 7 in a minute, and any others that you guys have got caught up.